Let's be honest, lightsabers are the coolest weapons in sci-fi history, no contest. But they're not just glowing space swords, they're reflections of the Force and the people who wield them. From the classic clash of blue and red, to the rare glow of white, yellow, and even black, every blade has a story. And if you know where to look, that story says everything about its owner. So today, we're unlocking the meaning behind every lightsaber color in Star Wars. We'll dig into what they symbolize, where they come from, and what they reveal about the Jedi, the Sith, and everyone in between. Because in this galaxy, your lightsaber doesn't just choose you, it reveals who you really are. At the heart of every lightsaber is a Kyber Crystal, rare, Force-attuned minerals, found on remote worlds like Ilum, Jedha, and Exegol. These crystals don't just power the blade, they bond with the user, reflecting their connection to the Force. For young Jedi, the journey to build a lightsaber begins in the crystal caves of Ilum. There, they're guided by the Force to a Kyber crystal that calls to them. Once attuned, the crystal determines the color of their blade, often tied to the Jedi's personality, strengths, or path within the Order. But it's not always that simple. In canon, Sith don't find Kyber crystals, they take them. Through a ritual called bleeding, they pour their pain, anger, and hatred into the crystal, corrupting it and turning the blade blood red. In rare cases, a purified crystal can turn white, symbolizing redemption. In Legends, things get even deeper. Certain blade colors were tied to Jedi ranks. Guardians, Consulars, and Sentinels each had their own hues. Some crystals were synthetic, forged in labs. Others, like the Darksaber, were completely one of a kind. Canon or Legends, the message is the same. A lightsaber color isn't random, it's personal. It speaks to your ideals, your destiny, and your place in the balance between light and dark. First up, blue. The original, the OG, the color that lit up the galaxy in A New Hope, and instantly became the symbol of the Jedi Order. Blue lightsabers are most often seen in the hands of Jedi Guardians, warriors who take the fight to the front lines. Think Anakin Skywalker, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Kanan Jarrus. These are Jedi who don't just meditate on peace, they enforce it. On the battlefield, in the thick of blaster fire, with grit and lightsaber twirls. Blue represents loyalty, courage, justice, and a deep sense of duty. It's not about flair, it's about function. It tells you this Jedi has made peace with the chaos of the galaxy and is prepared to stand against it, blade in hand. Behind the scenes, blue was the only option for Jedi in the early trilogy era, making it the face of the good guys. But in-universe, it signals a fighter, a protector, someone who doesn't hesitate when it's time to ignite their blade. Then comes green. If blue is the warrior's blade, green is the philosopher's. It's the saber of Yoda, Qui-Gon Jinn, and later Luke Skywalker, during his transformation into Jedi Master. The green lightsabers are associated with Jedi Consulars, who prioritize wisdom, diplomacy, and a deeper understanding of the Force. They study mysteries, uncover truths, and often bend the rules when the Jedi Code doesn't quite fit the situation. Qui-Gon. Green symbolizes growth, balance, and peace. It's often seen in older, more seasoned Jedi, those who have moved beyond simple battles and now focus on the bigger picture. And fun fact, Luke was originally supposed to wield a blue saber in Return of the Jedi, but the blue blade blended in with the Tatooine sky, so George Lucas made it green. A practical fix that accidentally gave birth to a whole new layer of Star Wars symbolism. And then, there's red, the color of the Sith, the dark side's calling card, the weapon of Palpatine, Vader, Maul, Dooku, Kylo Ren, you name it. Unlike Jedi, Sith don't bond with crystals, they dominate them. They use the bleeding ritual, infusing a Kyber crystal with rage, hate, and pain until it literally cries out in crimson. That's why red sabers represent more than evil. They represent power, corruption, control, a complete rejection of harmony in favor of dominance. In Legends, Sith often forged synthetic red crystals in labs. In canon, the bleeding process became the defining method, explaining why no two red blades look exactly the same. And Kylo Ren's lightsaber, it's a whole category on its own. His bleeding cracked the crystal, making it unstable. That's why his blade isn't clean, it's fiery, chaotic, and dangerous, just like him. The crossguards? Not for style. They're vents, releasing excess power to keep the weapon from exploding. Together, these three colors, blue, green, red, are the holy trinity of lightsaber symbolism. Blue protects, green contemplates, red consumes. They're the foundation, but we're only just getting started. Let's talk about purple. The blade that says, I walk my own path. Only one man ever made it iconic, Mace Windu, and that wasn't even planned. The color came about because Samuel L. Jackson looked George Lucas in the eye and said, I want a purple one so I can find myself in the crowd. Lucas said yes, and the galaxy shifted. In lore, purple sits between blue and red. That's the color of balance, the line between Jedi discipline and Sith intensity. Purple blade wielders embrace combat with power and purpose, but without falling to corruption. They acknowledge the darkness and choose to master it instead. Mace Windu created Form 7, Vapad, a style that channels a Jedi's inner darkness into controlled combat. It's lethal, risky, and very few can use it without tipping into the abyss. So yeah, purple isn't just rare, it's reserved for the elite few who can stare the dark side in the face and not flinch. Next up, yellow. It's the blade of Jedi Temple Guards, Rey Skywalker, and Sentinels. If purple walks the line, yellow walks the beat. This color symbolizes clarity, vigilance, selflessness, and order. Not as flashy as green or blue, yellow blades often belong to Jedi who operate behind the scenes. Part detective, part warrior monk. Jedi Sentinels weren't scholars or soldiers, they were problem solvers. Experts in surveillance, espionage, and tech. They got their hands dirty so the rest of the Jedi didn't have to. Think the Jedi's Black Ops division, only with morals. When Rey ignites her yellow lightsaber at the end of The Rise of Skywalker, it's not just aesthetic, it's a statement. She's not reviving the Jedi Order as it was, she's creating something new, something better. Now, white. Pure, cleansed, independent. White lightsabers are most famously used by Ahsoka Tano, and the way she got them is everything you need to know. After leaving the Jedi Order, Ahsoka fought an Inquisitor, took the red crystal from his blade, and purified it through the Force. She didn't bleed it, she healed it, and in doing so, crafted something truly unique. 2 white sabers unaligned with either Jedi or Sith. White represents spiritual clarity, redemption, and a rejection of binary thinking. It's the color of someone who's chosen to follow the Force, not a council or a code. Ahsoka's white blades show us that sometimes walking away from the path is what finally sets you free. And finally, black, the Darksaber, the only one of its kind. Forged by Ter Vizsla, the first Mandalorian Jedi, the Darksaber is less lightsaber and more legend. It has a flat black blade that hums with raw energy and ancient tradition. It's not just a weapon, it's a symbol of Mandalorian leadership, of conquest, of legacy. Whoever wields the Darksaber and wins it in combat holds the right to rule Mandalore. It has passed through many hands, Pre-Vizsla, Maul, Bo-Katan, Gideon, Din Djarin, but its power isn't automatic. The blade resists unworthy wielders. You have to connect with it, prove yourself. It's heavy, both literally and metaphorically, and no other lightsaber carries that same burden. The Darksaber is unique, iconic, one of one. And in a galaxy of light and dark, sometimes the most powerful weapon is forged from both. Now let's talk about orange, the color that threw fans into theory mode the moment Baylan Skoll and Shin Hati ignited theirs in Ahsoka. At first glance, many thought it was a reddish hue, but no, Dave Filoni confirmed it. Orange is real, and it's loaded with narrative weight. While not officially assigned a concrete meaning in canon yet, fans have pieced together some very compelling symbolism. If red is corruption and yellow is balance, then orange? It might be those two colliding. A blade for someone walking the tightrope between dark and light. Not fully Sith, but definitely not Jedi. That perfectly fits Baylan and Shin. They're not galactic conquerors, but they're not defenders either. They serve something deeper, older, and their orange sabers reflect that liminal space. It's a visual cue that says this character doesn't play by the old rules. And if Star Wars has taught us anything, it's this. Color is never accidental. Now let's zoom into the gaming galaxy. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor gave players freedom to choose their lightsaber hues, and that meant introducing colors like Cyan, Indigo, and Magenta. Let's break them down. Cyan is a lighter, almost electric blue. It suggests clarity, optimism, and creativity. Many fans interpret it as the color of the Jedi who've left the temple behind, but haven't abandoned their ideals. It feels like a color for rogues with heart, like Cal Kestis himself. Indigo, deeper and moodier, echoes themes of introspection. If blue is about action, indigo is about wisdom. It feels like the color of someone who's fought through pain and come out the other side. Not necessarily whole, but aware. Magenta, that one's bold. Visually closer to purple, but with a hotter tone. It's a color for Force users who burn bright. Passionate, fierce, unconventional. It might not carry deep canon meaning yet, but symbolically it screams rebellion. It's not trying to be balanced, it's trying to break the system and forge a new one. These new blade colors may not yet have ancient lore like red or blue, but their meanings are growing. Star Wars has always used visual storytelling to show character growth, moral ambiguity, and legacy, and these newer sabers are doing just that for a new generation of Force wielders. Whether it's the tragic conviction of Baylan Skoll, the moral journey of Cal Kestis, or just your favorite saber skin in Survivor, these new hues are carving out space in the galaxy far, far away. Because when it comes to lightsabers, the color isn't just what you see, it's who you are. In a galaxy where the Force shapes destiny, lightsaber colors aren't just aesthetic choices. They're reflections of philosophy, personality, and power. So the real question is, what color would your lightsaber be? Thanks for watching. Let us know in the comments what lightsaber color you'd choose and what that says about you. And don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the Star Wars universe.